welcome back to Skyrim mod comparisons. So in this video we're going to be looking at mods that basically change how the first person view looks to make it more immersive. So the two mods are Enhanced Camera and Immersive First Person View. I will mention that Enhanced Camera is very new, so there's a lot of bugs, but the mod author is currently still trying to fix all the bugs and add new features. So when you install this mod it works straight away. All it requires is SKSE. You don't even need SkyUI if you want to run it. There's no MCM menu, and when you look down you can see your character's body. As you can see, there's a bit of clipping going on, but that will be fixed in the future. So when you start running around you can see that the animations are very good, and you can see how much work's been put into this mod. But it's not just running and walking you get animations for, you get them for almost everything. So as you can see here, it's a first person animation for when you're using the grindstone, and for basically everything else, which is really cool and immersive, and definitely adds to the crafting to make it a little bit less boring. You can get animations when you sit down, so you can sit down in first person rather than when the vanilla game forces you into third person. And it's also the same with a horse. When you get on a horse in the vanilla game you're forced into third person, but with this mod you can go into first person, and now you can actually see yourself on the horse. And actually it cured a huge problem for me where I ran around with a horse around by Whiterun and I was getting huge lag spikes in third person. But with this mod I don't get any lag spikes in first person on a horse. It's the same for combat, it's now a lot easier. I always found fighting with a bow on the back of a horse in third person quite complicated and difficult because you can't really see where you're aiming. But with first person it's absolutely perfect and you can actually see where you're aiming and hit people for once. Now of all the features, my number one feature will have to be the death animation. Normally when you fall, again you get put into third person, but not anymore. When you accidentally press the wrong button because you thought you had Fusfrodar equipped, and you fall off the edge of a cliff like I just did, as you can see it is in first person, which is really cool, especially when you go in for those jumps off the top of the throat of the world. You can just see yourself tumbling down and it is really cool. And I almost forgot to mention there's also a new swimming animation, but at the moment when you look down, if you're using something like wet and cold, you can't see the drips. So I'd suggest to the mod author to try and include things like that, all immersive mods like wet and cold, which would be the icing on the cake for this mod for me. So now we'll move on to immersive first person. Now as soon as you start this mod there's already a huge difference because there's an MCM menu. So the MCM menu allows you to set different hotkeys, and what these hotkeys do, well there's two. The main one activates the first person mode, so when you go into the game you won't have it activated. Then you hit the button and it's activated, and you can see a difference immediately. There's a bigger FOV, and when you run around it all goes a bit crazy. It's not really my taste, I don't like playing with it, I think it's a little bit odd. But I guess that's why the hotkey's there, so you can turn it off whenever you want. So if you really like it for combat, because it does add a bit more of a fast element to the combat, you can turn it on then, and then turn it back off again when you just want to walk around. So this mod has basically the same animations for all the crafting and the sitting down and the swimming and the falling, pretty much everything. The only difference is when you are walking around and standing up normally, you get a very strange kind of different FOV, which you can change. You have up to 15 profiles in the MCM menu, you can customize it yourself. But what I like about the other mod is the fact that out of the box, it's perfect already. You don't have anything that's too crazy. And I just don't like playing with the first person view so wobbly all the time. I think it's a little bit disturbing. There's also another hotkey, but what it basically does is the exact same thing that the console command animcam does, which allows you to look at your character while he has a weapon out, which you can't do in the vanilla game because as you turn, it turns with the character because he's in combat mode. So you just hold the key rather than typing the console command, and you can look around freely. So I think the choice between these two mods boils down to how much of a big difference you want to make to your game. Whether you just want to have something that you barely notice but's there for immersion, like I do, then you want to go for Enhanced Camera. But if you want a big change to your game, make it more immersive, just to change it up a lot, then Immersive First Person is the one to go for. So I think I'm going to go for Enhanced Camera, mainly because I prefer the simplicity of it, and I also love mods that would have fit perfectly with the game in the first place. I don't think Immersive First Person fits with it too much because I don't think many people would have wanted the bobbing camera. I like to be able to slowly walk around and look around without having to worry about bob and all kinds of crazy movement going on with the camera. I think it's just nice to have a smoother feel. But that's just my humble opinion. Let me know yours in the comments, and I'll see you in another episode of Skyrim mod comparison.
Knock Yes!